All right, we are finally doing the comparison of the iPhone 17 Pro Max and the Pixel 10 Pro XL. So let's start with the designs of these things. I will have the specs on the screen, so I don't want to talk too much about it. I want to get straight into comparing these phones. So what do you think of the designs? Here we have the new camera plateau in the iPhone 17 Pro Max. And this allegedly is holding a lot of components, especially the new telephoto sensor, which is about 56% larger than last year's, giving you a new 4x zoom. I know it's not 5 times anymore, but when you go 5 times, it is actually 30 megapixels. So you still get more megapixels on the 5x zoom on the iPhone 17 Pro Max. And then once you finally hit 8x, that's the last optical, quote unquote, zoom you get. Everything after 8x will be like more digital. So it will be not as sharp, but still with the image processing and new ISP image pipelines, etc., it does still look pretty decent for the most part. This is made out of aluminum unibody now. So basically what that means is the entire frame and the entire chassis is aluminum. On the back here on this two-tone part, it is still glass with MagSafe, and it's got Qi 2.2 25-watt wireless charging essentially. Pixel has that as well. It has its own like MagSafe called Pixel Snap. It has its own thing called Pixel Snap. So that has 25-watt wireless charging as well. So which is pretty cool. The first Android phone to have like built-in magnets. Samsung better catch up. So this has a Ceramic Shield 2 glass back. The front has Ceramic Shield 2 glass back. The Pixel, I believe, has Gorilla Glass Victus 2 on the front and back for the ultimate protection essentially. It's the latest and greatest. And when it comes to the button layout, the Pixel has the power button and volume button on the same side. And on the iPhone, we have the power button, camera control button. You have the volume up and down and action button. So this is useful to me because the action button is a quick shortcut for me for ChatGPT. It can literally be a shortcut for anything. Camera control button is the shortcut for the camera button. I don't use the camera control button for anything else. So when it comes to controlling the camera and changing different things on there, I do still keep it on the screen essentially. I don't really use camera control button for anything else. LiDAR sensor, flash right here. Temperature sensor is still on the Pixel phones. Flash sensor right there. So we still have those from the Pixel 9 Pro XL. We got a punch hole cutout camera right there that lights up on notifications. Here we still have the pill shape cutout that you can't see because I'm on a darker screen. So I think you can see it now. So we have that on there still. And I'm kind of sad to see that the rumors weren't true, that they didn't shrink the size of the pill cutout. It should be getting smaller year by year, but this year we didn't get a smaller sensor, so hopefully next year we do. And speaking while on the topic of that, when we get into the camera section of this video, the front-facing camera is now upgraded to 18 megapixels with a larger square sensor. And what the square sensor means is that it can do center stage. And if you're not familiar with center stage, that's when the camera kind of follows you around because it's like an ultra-wide camera. So it can follow you around and auto frame to keep you in the frame wherever you move and just follow you around. And then you can utilize landscape video recording while not turning your phone. And you can utilize landscape selfies without turning your phone because it's a square sensor. It can utilize the entire space. And apparently that's a good thing. And some other creators and tech enthusiasts have been asking for it, and Apple finally came through, which is pretty cool. So it's nice that Apple has upgraded the resolution on telephoto, upgraded the resolution on the front-facing camera, along with a more wider field of view. So a lot of upgrades with the cameras on the iPhone 17 Pro Max that are pretty significant compared to its predecessors. So we like that. So what is your favorite design looking at these? It looks like Apple kind of almost copied the Pixel, but not quite. It's not as elegant as the Pixel. The camera plateau is kind of growing on me. At first when I saw the designs, I'm not gonna lie, I thought it was the hideous and ugly, and I can't believe Apple is doing this. But in the hands and in person, it's not as bad as I thought it was gonna be. And that's not me being an Apple fanboy. I'm just saying it's not that bad, but I am not a fan of the two-tone thing on here, especially the silver color with it being white and silver. Don't like that. Orange is too loud for me. So deep blue it is, and I'm glad it's you can almost compare it to the shadow blue or whatever deep blue that the Z Fold 7 has. So I like that. I want to go with a different color than black this year anyway, but it's still sad to see that we don't have options like other manufacturers give out. So that's the design of the Pixel and the iPhone 17 Pro Max. both about the same height, both about the same heft. iPhone's a little heavier to me in the hand. What do you guys think? Leave a comment below, and let's move on to battery experience. So the battery between these phones, they're both about got the same capacity. iPhone's got 50, just a little over 5,000 milliamps. Pixel about 5,200 milliamps, and they're all-day batteries. Pixel lasts all day. iPhone lasts all day. The Pixel, I get less screen time, just like an hour or two. With the iPhone, so far in the last like 4 days, 3 days I've had it, I've gotten up to 7 hours of screen on time on average, just a little more, which isn't too bad. So with batteries, you can't go wrong with either or on the phone. So the displays of the Pixel 10 Pro XL and iPhone 17 Pro Max are both very good. The iPhone, you will get, let's see, you'll get 3000 nits peak brightness, the Pixel 3300 peak brightness outside. So outdoors, you should be able to see the phones just fine. Now, will they dim from the heat? I have not experienced the iPhone dimming from heat. The Pixel, I've experienced it dim a little bit here and there, but not as bad. Both have vapor chambers to keep the motherboards nice and cool, so that way there's no throttling. But the iPhone clearly has the more powerful chip compared to the Tensor G5. You won't go wrong. HDR looks great on both. iPhone supports Dolby Vision. Pixel, I believe, still does not support Dolby Vision. It's HDR10 Plus. And the resolution, I believe, is higher on the Pixel. It has like a 400 something PPI. The iPhone is a pretty good display. It's always had like accurate colors, not too saturated, not too dull. Pixel has nice popping colors. So you can't go wrong with either phone when it comes to display. The Pixel is slightly brighter, but you won't really notice that big of a difference between the two phones when it comes to the brightness. Here's the Pixel 10 Pro XL speakers. Pretty loud, pretty punchy on that bass over there, and the vocals were pretty crispy clear. Now let's see how the iPhone does. So yeah, the iPhone has a little more clarity to it, less distortion at loud volumes, but the Pixel's no slouch and has done a really good job this year at improving a speaker compared to last year. All right, so I want to talk about software, and this could be a whole video separate about software, but nonetheless, I just want to say that the animations on iOS 26 and Android 16, well, just see for itself. So I'm gonna swipe just back and forth and you can tell me, I mean, this is at 30 frames per second, so you may not see the smoothness of 120 hertz between the two on here, but for my eyes, they both are equally smooth with the scrolling. And I wanna say, when it comes to opening apps, it's pretty quick. YouTube, same time. Boom, same time, both are fast. Opening Gmail, see how fast they both are. Gmail is probably in the background, so I won't give it. Apple Maps, Google Maps, pretty fast. Let's see, Google Home. Boom. Get started. No, I already had that. One thing also I want to say with the iPhone, with it flat on the table and the camera plateau, it doesn't have that, it doesn't rock anymore as much as it used to. and the Pixel doesn't rock at all with the camera visor. And just over there it rocks a little bit, but not too bad. All in all though, the animations on here are pretty smooth. Apple Music opens pretty smoothly on both. All the apps. One thing that I wish Apple had was that you could clear all at the end, and over here you can't clear all. So I wish Apple had that, but it does not have it in iOS 26 update. And then you have liquid glass versus material 3. You can tint both, but I prefer liquid glass in iOS 26. And one thing about messages is that man, is there anything I can pick? So the background's black. Like, I can't upgrade or change the background for text messages here, right? This is black. But if I wanted to, like for regular text messaging, like example with my mom on here, like I can change the background to like the cats. I can swipe up and see the background. And over here, like you can't see anything, can't change the background. There's no option to change the background. So iOS 26 is kind of more customizable than Android in a sense. The widgets on iOS are pretty intuitive. Amazon does have the same widget as iOS, but yeah, the widgets on iOS are clean now. There's no now feed like how Google has, but yeah, I think the software on iOS 26 is okay. Pixel's software is okay. They both have their quirks. There's differences, such as swiping up on iOS does really nothing. Does nothing. But swiping down brings up like search. Swiping down here brings up your notifications. Swiping up brings up the app drawer. There's no swiping left or right from the top. Notifications are easy, clear all on there. And when it comes to notifications on here, there is a clear all, but it's not the same. Like I can stop right here, and then everything else on top of that X I have to manually close by itself. So there's that. And let's see what else. What else is there? I think that's about it. Control center is customizable. You can make it whatever you want on here. There's favorites. You can swipe up and go to the media player, HomeKit stuff, connectivity options, satellite connectivity. You can do demos on here. Pretty cool stuff. But other than that, software is going to be a preference. Lastly, of course, how can I forget Gemini versus Siri? What's today's date?
The current date is September 27th, 2025.
What's today's date? Okay, cool. What day of the month is this? Or what is that? No. That was a dumb question. That's not what I meant to say. What day in the week are we in? Why did they have to go to ChatGPT to figure that out? I don't know. What day of the week is it? Okay, I don't know why I used ChatGPT the first time. Who is the current president of the United States? Ugh. Let's see here. Who led the civil rights movement? Okay. What else could I ask Siri that's complex? Okay, we can try that. Schedule an event haircut at 5 p.m. and notify Jessica Vasquez. Not the same as a text message, but that works. Let's see here. Schedule an event to go to downtown Chicago tomorrow at 6 p.m. and send a text message to mom about it. Now send a text message to mom inviting her to Chicago tomorrow at 6 p.m. So it's not the same, but it does the same. All right, let's try Gemini. Create an event going to downtown Chicago at 6 p.m. tomorrow and send a text message to mom inviting her to come along. It's working with calendar.
Sure. Message to mom saying, I'm going to downtown Chicago tomorrow at 6 p.m. and would love for you to come along. Ready to send it?
So Gemini is a little better with that. It was more humanistic and it actually generated a text message inviting her out versus like, I don't know. Gemini is just smarter. I mean, it can do more, but I'll leave that. I've done the video about that already. It's the same with the Pixel 9 Pro XL, and it's just better. It does better, it's smarter, and I'll just leave it at that. We all know Google is smarter than Siri right now, but apparently Apple is working on a separate ChatGPT app that's similar to ChatGPT with large language model Siri overhaul. So we'll see how that goes. But software, it's going to be a matter of preference. So the cameras of the iPhone and Pixel are both different in their own way. The Pixel has a front-facing camera that gets pretty wide, and the iPhone can now get wide as well. So the iPhone can now do center stage. It's got an 18 megapixel square sensor that's larger than last year's. The larger sensors means more light and hopefully better quality photos. So it can go out pretty far now. It's almost just as far as the Pixel. Now with center stage, you can get more width. So now you can fit more people, and you can have it to where it automatically does that. I have that turned off. And even if you have it turned on, if you do anything manually, it automatically turns it back off. So here we crop in on that center stage, here we crop out and fit in more. Here we go back to the vertical, and we crop out, we can fit in more. Pixel, you probably have to go horizontal to fit in more horizontally. And with the iPhone, I don't have to do that. I can just click on that and I will get a horizontal field of view. So pretty cool, pretty cool. I don't like that in the iPhone, it's super minimal. So you have to swipe. You have photo and video, right? You click on video, all you get is video. And you can do center stage on video too as well. You can either do the vertical, horizontal thing on here. You know, with the Pixel, I think you get the same depth now, or the same like field of view on the iPhone and Pixel. And the Pixel you can crop in a little more. On the iPhone, you can hit that and you can get a landscape mode shot and shoot landscape. On Pixel, you still have to rotate the phone to get more of a landscape shot. But on the iPhone, you don't have to rotate it anymore, which is pretty cool. Which means you can keep your face locked in on there and have eye contact versus where you have to like rotate your phone and keep it different. So back to what I don't like. So on the iPhone, you have to like swipe across to get all the different features. On the Pixel, you click either photo or video, and all your favorite settings are right here. And then everything's at the bottom for changing camera settings. This is reachable. On the iPhone, it's not reachable. You have to go all the way at the top right there. And then that's where you can change your resolution, your frame rate. And then you click over here and you can change your exposure and aperture if you're doing cinematic video, that is. And on cinematic video, looks like you can do landscape as well. Pretty cool. Like we like that. We like that. Back to photo mode. So in photo mode, you can flip the camera on here. And then we have that 1x. Surprisingly enough, the iPhone is showing a cooler tone instead of warm. Then we can go to 0.5. The lens transition on the Pixel has improved. It's still pretty choppy, but the Pixel lens transition has definitely improved over the years. So kudos to Pixel. The Pixel is definitely showing a more warmer field of view, or just temperature when it comes to the photos. But when they come out, they both do a pretty good job. It's going to be a matter of preference and color science per se. But I will stop talking about the cameras. The features on here are pretty much duplicate What the iPhone does better, it does have that new, oh, interesting. If you click on video twice, you have action mode and dual capture. And that's what's new, actually. I forgot to talk about that. So dual capture is where you can now, as you can see, I can see the front facing camera and I can see the rear camera, and you can toggle it on and off up here. And then can you switch on dual mode? So unfortunately, on dual camera mode, you can't flip the camera. So once you go to the front facing camera, it automatically turns off dual camera mode. And you can only do dual camera at 4K 30, not 4K 60. And then HD, you can only do, yeah. So it only allows you to do it this way, where everything in the rear is right there. And then you can just record whatever you're seeing and then record your reactions. So you'll still have to look at the camera if you want to really have eye contact with your reaction. Otherwise, you'll be looking at the screen and not be looking directly at the camera with eye contact. So it's a cool feature. Samsung's had this for thousands of years, and Samsung's still ahead of the game where you can flip the camera while recording. Still can't do that on iPhone. Don't know why. It's kind of dumb. Apple, get with it, man. Get with the times. But they're slowly getting there, slowly but surely. Very slowly, since these are incremental upgrades throughout the years. Maybe Apple will learn. But it's a welcome feature to have this on here. So if you double click on photos, you get the timer, aspect ratio, styles, and flash. Let's see, is it the true one here? So yeah, basically if you double click each feature, you get an extra settings on here. I did not know that till now. So like with cinematic, let's see, you can double click that. Aperture, flash, slow-mo, double click that. Time lapse, double click that. So there's more settings when you double click it. There is photogenic styles that iPhone has. So those are the differences. Cinematic on the iPhone can shoot 4K 30. Pixel can only do 1080p 24, which is dumb. And the Pixel relies on video boost, which is super annoying. If you want to get like the best video quality, you have to rely on the cloud and the connectivity with video boost. Super annoying. You do have macro photos on here, which I actually did not do examples of in my camera test, but I don't know that many people take that many camera macro photos. But we have 50 megapixels on here. You can do 50 megapixel portraits on the Pixel, which is cool. You can do 24 megapixel portraits on the iPhone, the default main lens. The iPhone's Fusion camera lenses all shoot 24 megapixels by default. Unless you were doing night mode, then it'll go to 12 megapixels. And yeah, so let me stop talking about the cameras. I just want to be very detailed about it for you guys. So then lastly, night sight, you have astrophotography in the Pixel where it does 4 minutes. iPhone can do up to 30 seconds, I believe, on night mode. Let me stop talking and just show you some comparison cameras, samples from the Pixel 10 Pro XL and the iPhone 17 Pro Max. All right, 4K 30 on the front-facing camera of the Pixel 10 Pro XL and iPhone 17 Pro Max. Let me know what you think of the high dynamic range. How does it look? Leave a comment below. Also, here's that new front-facing camera. It is 18 megapixel center stage square sensor. So now we can have a horizontal video without turning the phone sideways on the front-facing camera. Pretty cool. Let's see how the stabilization is. Leave a comment below on the stabilization. Now the iPhone can do cinematic blur on the 17 Pro Max and the Pixel cannot. So how does this look in this landscape mode? And here's the cinematic mode in portrait mode. Here's the rear facing camera. I do have video boost turned off since I wanted to see how this is out the camera without any interference or enhancements. So we'll do it straight out the gate. Video enhancement does make it almost iPhone quality, but you still have to rely on internet and AI. So this is how it was. 4K 30. Just the stabilization. Has the dynamic range against the sun, wherever it is. How's the dynamic range? Which one's better? Leave the comments below. We're at ultra wide. Here we can zoom 1, 2, 5 on the Pixel, 4 on the iPhone, and then 8. And then we can try 8 on the Pixel, see how that looks. We're both 8X. Which one looks better? Leave a comment below. All right, so without further ado, we are done talking about these phones. Which do you prefer? Which do I prefer? I prefer the iPhone 17 Pro Max mainly because I'm in the Apple ecosystem. It's not so much iMessage, FaceTime, though they all are convenient due to having so many Apple devices such as Apple TV, MacBook, iPad, AirPods Pro 3, Apple Watch. It's all works for me pretty well, and my family has iPhones, so we use the family plan together to just make the most out of our devices, and it just makes life easy. Do I like the Pixel? Yeah, I love the Pixel. It's a great phone. It's a phenomenal Android phone. If you're an iOS user and you don't have a lot of Apple devices, you're not tied up in the ecosystem, definitely jump ship. Phenomenal phone. If you don't care that much about video boost and waiting on that, it takes good videos, it takes good photos. That's all good enough for the average consumer. Me, I'm a nitpicker and want the best of the best, so I stick with the iPhone 17 Pro Max because it has the best video, it offers the most, it has more tools that I can use if I want to have access to it. But the Pixel is definitely no slouch. It's missing a few quirks to make it a completely pro phone, and hopefully they get there next year. The Pixel Watch 4 was definitely something that I wanted to invest in if I were to jump ship to the Pixel, because the Pixel Watch 4 definitely seems more promising this year, and it might be better than the Apple Watch Ultra 3. But I digress. Both are great phones. Depending what ecosystem you're in, I mean, that probably would make your decision final. But I would use the Pixel. My only gripes are the video boost. The camera quality on here is great, but it does have some quirks that really aren't doing it for me this year, like the Pixel 9 Pro XL. So I do prefer the 17 Pro Max with that ProRes RAW, that open gate that I might use or play with. It just has more options. You have raw photo on here, but there's no raw video. We have everything raw on here that you can do. ProRes, log, open gate, all those other fun things that are native now. And I think with open gate you have to use the Final Cut Pro app, Final Cut Pro camera app, and the Blackmagic app. But what do you guys think? Do you prefer iPhone 17 Pro Max, the Pixel? Which one are you guys going with this year? This is Meme Tech Reviews. Thanks for watching. Peace out.
New users can